For the past 3 years, Emily's life had revolved around hospital rooms, insurance calls, double shifts at the marketing firm, and pretending she was strong enough to handle it all. At 29, she had already lived a lifetime of exhaustion. She didn't want to drive. She didn't trust herself to focus. So she opened her Uber app and requested a ride. 7 minutes away. The car that pulled up was a slightly older Toyota Camry, clean but clearly well used. The driver glanced back at her through the rearview mirror. "Emily?" he asked gently. "Yes. I'm Daniel." That was it. No dramatic music. No sparks flying. Just two strangers on a rainy Tuesday night. Emily slid into the back seat and gave him her apartment address in Lincoln Park. She stared out the window, watching the city blur into streaks of light. Daniel noticed her silence. Most riders were on their phones. Some were loud. Some rude. She was different. She looked like someone carrying something heavy. "You okay back there?" he asked carefully, not wanting to intrude. There was a long pause. "No," she said honestly. "Not really." And for some reason, that honesty shifted something in the air between them. Daniel nodded. "Do you want quiet? Or do you want to talk?" She almost smiled. "That's a good question. I've learned it's better to ask." Another pause. Then she surprised herself. "My dad passed away tonight." The words sounded unreal out loud. Daniel's hands tightened slightly on the steering wheel. "I'm so sorry." He didn't say anything else. No cliches. No empty reassurances. Just silence, respectful, steady silence. After a few minutes, Emily spoke again. "He used to call taxis life capsules. He said every driver has a story. Every passenger has a story. And for a few minutes they intersect." Daniel let out a soft breath. "Your dad sounds like a wise man." He was. The rain kept falling. Daniel wasn't just an Uber driver. 2 years earlier, he had owned a small construction business in Milwaukee. A bad investment, a dishonest partner, and the pandemic had wiped him out. He lost the company, then the house, then the relationship he thought would last forever. Driving rideshare wasn't his dream. It was survival. But something about Emily's quiet strength stirred something inside him. When they reached her apartment building, the meter stopped. The ride ended. But neither of them moved immediately. "Thank you," she said softly. "For what?" "For not trying to fix it." He nodded. "Some things aren't meant to be fixed. Just felt." She stepped out of the car, then hesitated. "This is going to sound strange," she said, leaning down toward the window. "But my dad was right about life capsules. Would you maybe want to get coffee sometime?" As two stories intersecting, Daniel blinked. He almost laughed at the irony. "I'd like that," he said. And just like that, two strangers decided not to stay strangers. Their first coffee wasn't magical. It was awkward. Emily wore a simple sweater and no makeup. Daniel showed up 5 minutes early and almost left twice before she arrived. They talked about safe topics at first: work, weather, Chicago traffic. But slowly the walls began to fall. Emily confessed how tired she was of being the strong one. Daniel admitted how ashamed he felt about losing everything he had built. "You didn't lose everything," she said. He looked at her, confused. "You're still here. Still trying. That counts." No one had said that to him before. They began meeting once a week. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into long walks by Lake Michigan. They talked about grief, failure, dreams they were afraid to say out loud. For the first time in years, Emily wasn't just surviving. And for the first time since losing his business, Daniel didn't feel invisible. But love doesn't grow without tests. 3 months into dating, Daniel got an opportunity. A contractor in Denver offered him a partnership to help restart a construction venture. It was risky but real. A chance to rebuild his life. It also meant leaving Chicago. Leaving Emily. He almost didn't tell her. He was terrified she would think he was choosing career over her. When he finally did, sitting on a bench overlooking the skyline, his voice shook. "I can't ask you to uproot your life," he said. "And I don't want to lose this." Emily stared at the city lights. Her job was stable. Her friends were here. Her father was buried here. Chicago was familiar. Safe. But then she remembered something her dad used to say. Don't choose comfort over growth. She looked at Daniel. Are you asking me to come with you? He hesitated. I'm asking if we're brave enough to try. That night Emily cried. Not because she was scared to leave, but because she was scared to stay exactly where she was. 2 weeks later, she requested a transfer within her company's Denver branch. It wasn't easy. There were fights, stress, financial strain, moments when both of them wondered if they had made a mistake. Daniel's new venture struggled in the first year. Investors backed out. Bills piled up. Emily picked up extra freelance projects to help cover expenses. The pressure was heavy. One night, after a brutal argument about money, Daniel slept on the couch. At 2 a.m., he woke up and saw Emily sitting at the kitchen table, looking at old photos on her phone. He walked over quietly. What are you looking at? My dad, she whispered. I was just thinking. If I hadn't taken that